All right there, Fangs and Infernos. As always, we have such a great time and are very, very appreciative of everything that our cons, especially our New Jersey HorrorCon family, likes to bring us, as well as what our friends and Fangs and family, who are also here, love to steer our way. And a shout out to our friend Nick, our friends at the Forest Hills, as they have steered us into our newest friend. Lydia Manson is hanging out with us. First and foremost, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, so we're really, really stoked that you were down for the cause and we're interested in our little show to talk about some fun stuff. So why don't you introduce everybody to Hell's Gate and what you've got going on here?
So my name is Lydia Manson, and I am the co-writer, co-director, producer, and actress in Hell's Gate, the movie. We plan on filming at the end of May, early June 2026. Right now, we're still going strong with our Indiegogo campaign, so you can pre-order your DVD, pre-order your Blu-ray, help feed the crew, help lodge the crew. Independent films are only made off the backs of our supporters, and we appreciate it so much. Hell's Gate is the story of a cult leader who gives psychedelic drugs to his members, not really sure where or who their true intentions lie and what they're going to do when this is given to them. And they go out and they commit these crimes, and to me, that is more terrifying than, a monster that I know is only made for TV, because being someone that struggles with mental health myself, I'm always looking to belong somewhere. And I think when we talk about films with cults, yes, we automatically think of Charles Manson, but there's been so many more out there. And I just want to show that the truly terrifying thing is not getting to know the people around you and getting to know their struggles, because those struggles can lead to even worse things than, I think, a slasher movie, because it becomes reality at that point, and that is truly terrifying.
That was actually the direction I was going to go next in this, with you writing and putting together this movie. Why cults as opposed to slashers? Which, don't get me wrong, we love slashers. We're entertained by all of that kind of stuff, but
have plenty of gore.
And we still have plenty of gore, but the market is heavily saturated with slashers. Was that something you took into consideration, writing a film that steered away from the norm when it comes to new horror indie films into something that's a little bit more potentially triggering to people, especially that you want to bring mental health awareness as a factor?
Well, I wanted... What are the big things we see about, the big complaints you see about independent films? There's not enough character development. There's not a full storyline. People are getting killed left and right, and it's awesome to watch those things. But what if we put more reason behind those things? What if I made those reasons closer to the people that are watching it? So the people that have lost a family member to an overdose and want to get that person that got them addicted to drugs in the first place. That's somebody's inner Hell's Gate. Yeah. And that's what I want to show, is that everybody has something, whether they realize it or not. It's buried deep inside there. And we put so many different scenarios. It is, trigger warning. We deal with sexual abuse, especially with children, and that is in our storyline. We deal with mental health. We deal with heartbreak. We deal with just acceptance. And I thought that those are things that an audience could truly relate to. Instead of just, oh my God, I love the way his head just got cut off, because we do always love the way a head gets cut off.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, absolutely. Devil, take it away, my friend.
Especially with, like you said, with it being sort of like that culty, more true crime.
There's a huge fandom in true crime. I mean, if you look at Netflix alone, the amount of true crime shows, documentaries, the new Monster coming out about, Ed Gein. Look how good who knew those first 2 seasons were going to take off like they did? And Mindhunter, now they're thinking about bringing it back as 2-3 hour movies because people were so invested in it. So many people are invested in true crime, and true crime is surrounding us everywhere. We are the true crime. And why not make a movie for that?
Between Netflix and Tubi, me and Mrs. Vamp live off of the true crime stuff.
Yeah. And also, with that true crime you were talking about, with the mental awareness and stuff like that, that's the one thing about cults. Like you said, Charles Manson. But you can also do, other stuff, very religious cults, with Scientology and all that stuff like that. It's preying on people who are very weak-minded.
And that's, it's the charisma of these, and I don't want to keep going back to Manson, because I don't want people to think the film is about Manson. We're not glorifying Manson. But I do truly believe that those people made those choices to commit those crimes on their own.
Yeah.
And that's what Hell's Gate is also going to show, that we all have that thing inside of us that we are responsible for, nobody else. But these leaders are almost like mirrors. They're showing us the person that we want to see. If I'm struggling because I didn't grow up with a father, I'm going to be looking for that father figure.
Yeah.
That's who he's going to appear to be to me. If you're struggling with addiction, he's going to be the person that's already gotten through that and showing you that you can make it to the other side. And how many people do you know that are like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And now with social media the way it is, you could be forming cults all around simply from your phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just Kool-Aid for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. And then also, like you said, especially tackling, like you said, some of the subjects you're talking about, just the awareness of that. That's why I like it, because that's the problem with, especially with, all the mental issues and things like that, with people with depression and, the suicide rate and all that kind of stuff. People are afraid to talk about those subjects, which people who have those problems in their life are afraid that they can't talk to anybody. And I like to see people that are willing to put that in their music or put that in their art, put that in their movies, that's saying, hey, we all have this. It's okay if you feel this way. There is somebody to talk to. Yes, there are people that will take advantage of you, so you have to be careful of who you talk to.
Exactly.
Because there's going to be that cult leader or that person that's going to take advantage of you that way. But there's also people who are willing to help you that aren't going to take advantage of you as well.
Yes, like 988, you can call or text that number if you are ever struggling, and that's a resource people don't realize. A simple call or text message if you can't find your voice. I know days I'm so depressed I can't even fathom talking, but I can send a text that says I'm struggling to 988 and they'll get back to me.
Yeah.
So I want to put that out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Besides what you're doing right now with Hell's Gate and everything that you're trying to put out for that, talk a little bit about some of your other passion projects that you do, when you're not focusing on the movie.
Well, I like to help other indie filmmakers, so I always try to promote their things too, because we're a team, and at the end of the day, if we don't have each other's backs, who will? But I was lucky enough to be involved with a film called The Lady of the Castle de la Mort. So if you are a fan of Young Frankenstein and Frankenstein, we'll cover all bases. This is an homage to that. It was shot in black and white. It's shot in the old ratio. It's got the comedy.
Devil and I are Mel Brooks people.
It was so much fun, and the director Tyler Chapman on that was absolutely amazing. Now I have 2 more films that he cast me in because the way I did Lady of Castle de la Mort, so I'm super excited. In November, I'm going to be going down to Texas, and I have my first lead role in a film, and it's called The Toy Maker. And actually, the lead for Hell's Gate, Otis B. Dreads, he's actually my co-star in A Toy Maker.
Oh, nice.
So we've been able to keep our bond going, and he's a big supporter of mental health as well. We do a podcast called Dread the Stigma, where we try to break the stigma about mental health and get people to see that don't judge your bad days by somebody's highlight reel that you see on Instagram or Facebook. Like, we are all struggling, and as long as we talk about it more, there shouldn't be a stigma.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the Fangs and Infernos, you guys aren't going to be able to see this because it's off of camera, but you have portion of the movie playing here for anybody that walks by the table to check it out. While you're still doing what you can do with the Indiegogo campaign and everything there, is the movie filmed to a certain degree and completed, or is the video that the Fangs and Infernos get to see if they were coming to New Jersey HorrorCon like a portion of what's been filmed so far to let people know about the movie?
So the proof of concept we have playing at the table is just a condensed version of what the film will be. So we want to show people this is the production value we can bring to you. This is the storyline we're showing you, and help us. It's just a way to show you this is what your support will get to in an hour and a half instead of 5 minutes.
Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. Devil, let's kick it over to you.
And that's the cool thing about those indie, I always, implore people to, support the local filmmakers, the Indiegogo, because you got to realize, everybody's been talking about it, Terrifier franchise.
Yes.
Those guys are the next big thing in horror now, where people are like, oh shit, horror can be not hardcore mainstream, can still be indie, and you never know what the next movie's gonna be that's gonna blow up. So it's always nice to like, hey, if this passion project of this person sounds interesting or this sounds like, put your name on that, because it's like you could help the next person to become that next Terrifier or that next, that next huge movie that you never know. Yes, horror movies are always going to be big, and somewhat pushed away as far as, big media and stuff like that, because Hollywood's always going to be like,
we're the redheaded stepchild of filmmaking.
I mean, like I said, it took how many years for The Substance, we talk about that, with it finally getting acolytes and in the Academy Awards of being that, and it's the Oscars and all that kind of stuff like that. It's crazy. So talk about because like you said, when we talk about in the music industry, it's very cutthroat, but it always seems like, as much as we talk to independent people, you guys are always really cool with everybody. Like, you're about, yes, you want to promote your film and you want to help your film, but you're not against helping somebody else's film too.
I think the minute that you stop supporting other artists, it's the minute that you're not an artist anymore. I feel like you've kind of sold out at that point, but that's my personal opinion. Everybody is free to think how they are. I think if the drama would stop between people fighting, we could be able to create like so many more movies and so many more things for people to enjoy, and I think that would be better for the horror in general. I mean, one of my biggest influences for Hell's Gate is Silence of the Lambs, which was released 1991 not on Valentine's Day. Nobody thought that movie was going to do anything, and it took the Pig 5 at the Oscars. So it can do it. You just have to know how to do it the right way. And,
The Exorcist has an Oscar on its shelf.
I mean, look at whatever happened to Baby Jane.
And
you're dealing with two older actresses that had made, like this life for themselves, and now nobody was casting them anymore. And they went and did whatever happened to Baby Jane, and it was like suddenly now horror was cool again. And it's just, to see certain things like that is just amazing. Like, nobody believed in Psycho when that was made.
Everyone's like, what?
He refinanced his house to make that movie.
But then the thing I also loved, though, was about the execution of when it was done and out, is the fact that they treated it like a Broadway play. The doors were locked. You were not let in, even if I don't know if they did trailers or previews back then, but
His
you still weren't let in.
Was him walking through the Psycho house. He did not show anything from the film. He just showed you himself walking through the Psycho house, and that was his promotion. And I am taking marketing ideas from Psycho and seeing if could we pull that off in 2025.
And he was already at that time a well-known director. People still didn't want to believe, because at that time was when horror had that genre for a little while, but then it kind of died again. And that's what I say. Even with that, like, we have the Terrifier, but I always look back at like Blair Witch. I mean, look, that's the biggest, probably independent film ever. Almost all their budget went to them putting that doc out there that people think that it was real, and then blew up. And that's what kind of brought back that indie love and stuff like that.
Like Cannibal Holocaust. That guy was going to go to jail for life because they were so convinced that his cast were dead and eaten that in the courthouse they had to bring him in to be like, see, not dead, alive, case dismissed.
It's amazing just the timeline of horror and just like the different sections. It's just amazing. It's something every generation has their own immediate thing you think of when you think of horror. So
especially something like like your pet film, Hellgate, where it's like it's fresh to see like newer ideas that you might be influenced by, like you said, Silence of the Lambs or Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects and this kind of stuff, but you're still doing something that's, unfortunately, like with the world now, it's all about regurgitating the same shit over and over again. When it comes to Hollywood, it's nice to see something that it's a topic that's been done, but it's in a new, different, fresh way.
Absolutely, for sure. And before we let you go, Lydia, because we want you to be able to like mingle and meet and promote and do all that fun stuff, we really, really appreciate some of your time. It's been absolutely wonderful to have you on the show, and thank you again for your hospitality and talking to us. But please let everybody know one more time where Hell's Gate can be found?
So you can go on Instagram and it's just Hell's Gate the Movie. And then on Facebook, Hell's Gate the Movie Facebook group. And, hashtag join the cult.
And there's an Indiegogo there, Fangs and Inferno. So anybody who really wants to, get out and support the movie financially, we would love nothing more than you guys to consider that. But of course, keep in mind things like likes, shares, and follows do have their place.
Yep.
So again, thank you so much, Lydia. We really, really appreciate it. And the biggest thing to myself and Devil is that no matter what, in any way, shape, or form, you felt that this interview can benefit Hell's Gate in any way.
Honestly, meeting you two has benefited my entire weekend already. So the interview is just the icing on the cake for me.
Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to doing it again sometime.
I'm so excited. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you so much, Fangs and Infernos. We appreciate you guys. Again, as always, make sure you're showing a lot of love to Hell's Gate the movie and hashtag join the cult. I'm Vampire, he's Devil, but more importantly than that, she is Lydia Manson. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be back soon. Horns up. Fangs out.